All right. Good evening. Hello. My name is Derek. I'm a functional breathing and ADHD coach. I'm going to walk us through a guided experience here. This is a perfect exercise, or a number of exercises and techniques, rather, to really just focus on our breathing, slow down, regulate the nervous system. All right. So this is really geared towards recovery. So those that may have a little trouble winding down, those with a cognitive hyperactivity, or those that are just typically go. This can be a wonderful exercise to help you actually get yourself prepared for sleep, so you can get that full get the full benefits of your sleep and actually rest. This is for those that are dealing with a lot of stress, and so by really slowing down, allowing the nervous system, allowing the body to relax, to feel safe, can really help boost that recovery, and help just sort of restore a level of balance. All right, so the guided follow along, don't need anything. All right, you can sit, you can lie down. I'm gonna lie down. I need this myself, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so what is functional breathing? Functional breathing is breathing the way that our bodies were naturally designed to breathe. All right, so that means using the proper mechanics, right? So breathing through our nose, activating the diaphragm, allowing the other muscles to relax that hold on to tension that might be, restricting our breathing in certain ways. Okay, so I'll guide through, I'll provide a number of little tips and little things to kind of focus in on. But first step here is to just lie down or sit, perhaps close the eyes or take a soft gaze, and then just start to pay attention to your breath. You can place a hand on the belly, the chest, or along the ribs. And you just start to notice the airflow as it comes in and out of your nose. And you start to tune in to the rising and falling in the body. Notice if there's any tightness or restriction anywhere. And if you're lying down, you kind of want to have your head just tilted just a little bit up. You want to be able to at least get a fist in between your clavicle or collarbone and your chin. Right, that allows us to open the airways, get that airflow. And when we talk about the biomechanics, right, breathing in through the nose, when doing so, we want to just let the air go in the airways the natural way. A lot of times when we breathe, we intentionally, we try to really breathe. We try to really give it our all, like everything else, right? We got to breathe seriously. So we breathe up, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. That usually means we're breathing up high, as if we're suctioning the air straight up of our face. And that, of course, brings our chest and our shoulders up, causing a little bit of tightness, tension, restriction. What we want to do is we want to breathe straight back into our face, just straight back. As you do that, you might notice just a little difference in the chest, the belly, the ribs. And next I want you to think of where your tongue position is. So, tongue should be on the roof of the mouth, making a letter T or a letter N, and then the t. That's where the tip of the tongue should be. just below the teeth. The teeth should be close to each other but not touching. And the rest of the tongue, you can try to press it, make that suction, that tongue should be pressed to the top of the mouth. Now, in order to get there, we likely have to force it a little bit. We have to press it there intentionally. Not how we need to be all day, every day, and not how we need to be right now, but it can be good practice to help remind your tongue of its natural position. When we lie down for sleep, usually everything relaxes, right? Or some of the muscles just let go, and the tongue, typically one of them. And when we do that, that tongue dropping creates a wide open hole for the air to go in and out of the mouth, where it's not designed to go. So just making that T, that N, trying to press a little bit more of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, closing down that airway through the throat. Can allow ourselves to get nice, full, slow, low breaths all the way down to our diaphragm. So now that our tongue is pressed against our mouth, our roof of our mouth, we're breathing back into our face. Let's really just start to settle in and feel each and every one of these breaths. And maybe you notice the sensation of the air on the tip of your nose. When we breathe through our nose, it warms, it moistens, it filters the air. And so with that, you may notice that that slightly cooler air comes in on the inhale. And that warmed air comes out on the exhale. Now I want you to think of the pace of your breath here. Maybe just by focusing on it already, we've slowed it down a little bit. And by slowing our breath, we help work our way out of that activated, alert state, that sympathetic part of our nervous system. Then we move into that rest, digest, recover, parasympathetic branch of the nervous system. And the way we can take control of that and even sink ourselves deeper into that sense of relaxation, create more vagal tone here, is by extending our exhales. So making your exhale a little bit longer than each inhale. We breathe in and out of our nose. When we press the tongue gently against the roof of the mouth, that activation also allows us to activate the diaphragm as it's intended to. It's our primary breathing muscle, located just beneath our lowest ribs here. making that dome shape that kind of comes up towards the sternum. On each inhale, the diaphragm contracts, draws air into the lungs, creates that pressure. And when we exhale, it returns back to its resting position. So by allowing our body to relax here, by allowing us to activate the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, we can start to release some of that tension, tightness, alertness that we carry in our body. And maybe we carry that in our body, in our chest, by breathing fast, shallow into our upper chest, not activating the diaphragm. Or maybe we carry a lot of that tension in our hips, so we don't have that postural stability that happens from creating that intra-abdominal pressure by activating the diaphragm. So all the breathing exercises that are available out there, none of it matters if we're not breathing functionally, if we're not breathing properly. So you just continue with those slow breaths. Attention to the airflow. Imagine each exhale, you're just relaxing a little deeper. Just letting this breath be slow and effortless. Should be gentle, soft. We do not breathe this way often enough in our day. And we often don't give ourselves a chance to breathe like this, or relax, recover, and prepare ourselves for that deep rest that our body needs when we are pushing nonstop. That stress, that tension builds up. We hold it, we tighten. Our breathing reflects that. And we breathe in that way, shallow, fast, upper chest. We're also offloading a lot of carbon dioxide, which may sound good, right? Sounds good. Carbon dioxide bad, oxygen good, right? Not exactly. This is called the Bohr effect. It was discovered in 1902, 04. Anyway, Christian Bohr, wonderful. He had discovered that carbon dioxide is the catalyst for oxygen to be released into our tissues, into our cells, for them to get what they need, our body to get what it needs carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is also a vasodilator, opens our airways. So when we offload too much of the CO2, that means there's more constriction. There's less of that open flow. That'd be great if we could just be able to have more CO2 then, right? Well, CO2 is our primary stimulus to breathe, and CO2, when it rises, it it can cause us to feel a bit of that tension or anxious feeling in our head, because that is our brain interpreting the signal as you need to breathe. CO2 levels are too high. And when that happens and we breathe faster, then we change our biomechanics. We change the tension, the tightness. We change the direction of where the air is going. But if we can breathe slowly like this, gentle, soft, slow, we're not over breathing. CO2 levels can rise gradually in the body. We can start to build up that tolerance, start to be able to withstand higher levels of CO2, and then the oxygen can actually flow more freely, get to the places it needs to get to. Just focusing on that movement of the diaphragm, noticing the lower ribs expanding in all directions. It's as if you're breathing into that rib cage opening sideways behind you. It's the full 360 degrees here. Slow breathing through the nose, creating that slight suction with the tongue, connecting to the diaphragm. All this stimulates our vagus nerve, body's longest nerve. Shifts you directly into that parasympathetic state. You may notice some watery saliva in the mouth. That is your body's digestive response. Gentle, slow, effortless inhales and softer exhales. Just letting go of any more tension here. Letting yourself sink just a little deeper. We'll end off here with a few hums. And so just humming at your own pace, but when we hum, the vibrations, they also stimulate and vibrate and massage the vagus nerve, which secretes acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that helps produce that feeling of calm, of relaxation. Humming also produces nitric oxide in our nasal cavity, another vasodilator. So we'll just take a nice soft inhale, and then just gentle, effortless, but making that vibration with a hum. Continue with that. A few more. The humming also does is it slightly restricts that exhale, which makes it naturally slow down. So just creating more of that parasympathetic tone. We're gonna gently work our way to a close here, or you can just pause the video and keep going as long as you want, or maybe you're asleep right now. Maybe you feel a little less tension in the body. Just check in, just notice. How do you feel compared to when you started? All right, so I'm gonna take a little stretch. I needed that. A little more calm, a little more balanced. To recover. And yeah, thank you for watching. And that was just a short guided experience. As you can see, it's pretty simple. No, it's not easy. Sometimes sitting and breathing in that way can stir up a little bit of anxiety, discomfort, racing thoughts, still thinking about the to-do list, still thinking about the things that have to get done and you haven't finished. But perhaps, maybe you were able to touch in or tap in, get in touch with the body a little bit more and sense that state of relaxation, that state of calm, that state of presence, state of balance that you have within. Just your breath. All right. Good a time as any to end it. Have an awesome night or day or morning, wherever you are. Again, my name is Derek. I'm a breathwork and ADHD coach. Happy to chat more. Thanks so much.